In 2003, I started the Energy Resource Center at Cedar Council of Governments, and I managed it for 12 years. During that time, our region became a center for efficient and renewable energy technology and expertise. We educated the public and the construction trades about best practices in energy efficiency and renewable energy and their economic benefits. And we provided training to the local workforce to introduce them to the best practices so they could meet the growing need and market for these services in our region. We provided technical assistance to local governments to be able to reduce their energy use, therefore reducing their operating budgets and saving taxpayers money. This has been the local governments, the businesses, hospitals, residents, schools have saved millions of dollars over the last dozen years and continue to save money because of this program. This is an example of an enhancement of our economy while preserving our quality of life. And I would be happy to serve you as commissioner in the years ahead.
Ms. Rotko.
I feel like we should all be wearing black robes. There's 9 of us up here. I thought that would go over better than you did. I'm Heidi Rutno. I'm 39 years old. I live in Kelly Township. This is my first try for public office, and I got into this race because I think we need to start modernizing our local economy. I have 15 years work experience in journalism, marketing, and public relations, and I currently do records compliance for White Deer Run Incorporated. I hold a master's degree in corporate communication from Marywood University and a bachelor's from Lewisburg University, where I also studied political science. I'm not broadband, but it's more than about, the broadband issue is about more than just broadband. For me, it's a proxy for a bigger issue, which is the issue of economic stagnation. We are too dependent on a handful of large employers in this area, and that needs to change. We lost the largest employer in Snyder County just a few days ago, and that will have a ripple effect on our entire Tri-County area. We need to diversify our employer base so we're in a better position to absorb these disruptions, and one of the best ways to do that is to invest in our digital infrastructure. That would no doubt make this region more attractive to all different kinds of companies. If you've been through Pittsburgh or Chattanooga, Tennessee recently, you can see the impact that investing in that economy has had. They have the fastest Wi-Fi in the country, I believe, in Chattanooga, and they've done it without sacrificing all of that area's rugged beauty. I think we need to look at that because that's a good way to start getting wages up to where they need to be. And once that happens, our quality of life in Union County will improve. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will now go to questions, and a reminder that you have 60 seconds to respond to the questions. The first one is a lead question, and it is this. Partisanship is on the rise in local, state, and national politics. In recent years, the Union County Commissioners have avoided the negative effects of hyper-partisanship. How would you work with those of other parties to maintain a good working relationship? And we will begin with Mr. Connolly.
And Michael, could we have that one, please? Yes.
How's that? Great, thank you.
Yes.
You know, this is a great question to start off with. It's something that I have been thinking about all day today. There was a letter to the editor in this morning's daily item, and it's not important who wrote it, or and it's also not important who they were advocating. But the point is they were criticizing the current commissioners. I believe they called them. They said we've had enough of a get-along gang. Boy, that's one of the wonderful things that we have in the commissioner's office is the willingness to work together and work as a team, no matter what the politics are. That's one of the things we have to maintain, we have to work toward keeping. My gosh, this is not Northumberland County. Northumberland County seems to have the controversy du jour. Every day there's something else. Montsburg County doesn't do that. Columbia County doesn't do that. Union County doesn't do that. There are a handful of counties where the commissioners work together as a team, and it's something we need to maintain. Thank you.
Mr. Medina. Mr. Medina, could you, yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you, and that's a great question. Yes, our current county commissioners have had years of experience of working together, and we do appreciate that, because when you find common ground, you can get things a lot more things done. It is for the people of Union County, regardless of what political party or affiliation they identify as. It's about service. You have to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to respond appropriately, and have that debate and have that conversation. Right. So we need to get along. It's something that we've done in the Lewisburg Borough Council. We have different ideas, different beliefs, and different affiliations, but we all work together because we work for the common good, and we work for the common good of the people, to serve the people so they can have a better quality of life.
Ms. Richards.
I think this is really well, trying to silence, but.
I think the responses from my colleagues has been excellent. I do believe that one of the great strengths of Union County is the camaraderie of the commissioners and the continuity of the commissioners for the past several years, even though they're from separate parties. And they come at things from different places, as the future commissioners will too. But I also think that one of the great leadership attributes of our county commissioners has been their active support of the many organizations and communities and collaboration that we've had for years in our county, which requires, and it has resulted in very creative and innovative programs with organizations working together. So the leadership has started at the top, or it started at the bottom and it led to the top, but we have a great thing going, and I'd like to see it keep on going.
Ms. Ragnar.
We're going to have issues with this wire here. Truth be told, the issues we face here in this region are bipartisan issues. It shouldn't matter what party you belong to. We have real challenges here that need to be addressed. You know, my issue about the digital infrastructure dovetails into a larger issue of, you know, the changing economic realities that we face. We need to work jointly to address those realities and find a way to solve problems without getting caught up in identity or, you know, whatever you want to call it. We need to find a way to solve real problems for real people, because that's what they elect us to do. Thank you.
Mr. Casimir.
People always laugh when I say this, but living in New York City for 20 years really moderated my politics. When I got onto borough council, the thing that I learned in New York is that everybody speaks money. Everybody in the whole world is in that city, and they all speak money. And I realized that the people I want to work with are the people who show up when they say they will, and who do what they'll say they'll do. So when I joined borough council, I was the youngest, hairiest Democrat, and it turned out the person I got along with the best was the oldest, baldest Republican, the late John Baker. And he and I worked together on numerous projects. Turned out we both liked martinis, and we had other